Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you again for another 2020 Appalachian Trail Thru Hiker update. All right, this is just silly. I'm in the middle of the woods. I am the safest place there is right now in town, and if you're in the woods, you're in the safest place you could possibly be. So, a couple things about today's video. I am not a doctor, did not stay in the Holiday Inn Express last night, so you can take a lot of what I'm saying as tongue-in-cheek. Some of it good information, some of it may just be me joking around. So you be the judge of what you want to take home or on the trail with you. But in any case, welcome to the channel right now. We'll go ahead and get started with what's going on with 2020 Appalachian Trail Thru Hikers. It's getting pretty sporty out here, and just to let you know that dogs and cats are living together, and all the toilet paper and sanitizer may be gone at your next resupply. So keep that in mind when you're going. I understand a lot of trail angels are out there giving away toilet paper, so you might want to take what you can get. And when you're in town, I suggest you stop by the local Wendy's or Kentucky Fried Chicken. Get you some of those Purell wipes that they give away that the label specifically says on there on the package, complimentary, and compliment yourself as many times as you possibly can get away with, because that may be what you need. And after you wipe your hands with them, singing the Roy Rogers song, Happy Trails, then you can save them. They'll dry out, and you can use them for toilet paper if you can't find any on the trail. But let's go ahead, seriously, get on with the update. So for 2019, everybody's pretty much in, with the exception of Quicksand, and he is heading into Hampton and beyond, going up toward Watauga Lake. So Quicksand, we look forward to you finishing up. He'll be done somewhere up in Virginia. The weather for Quicksand and the class of 2020, well, it's going to be one of those weeks where you're just going to have to learn, if you hadn't already, to embrace the suck. Now, I know y'all been embracing a lot of suck lately, and this week's going to be no different. However, shouldn't be any snow, shouldn't be any freezing temperatures, so it's not going to suck nearly as bad. But it is pretty much going to be wet, whether you're in Georgia, North Carolina, or Tennessee, or in Virginia somewhere. It's going to be wet. Temperatures won't get below freezing. Going to be decent temperatures at night where you ought to be comfortable, and decent temperatures during the day. But other than that, it's going to suck. Current registrations that we have, NOBO, we've got, last week we had 2,209, and this week we've got 2,266 folks registered for their NOBO trip. SOBO, last week we had 113, and this week we have 118. And last week, flip-floppers, we had 96, and this week we got 98. So the total we had last week was 2,418 folks that had registered for the trail, and this week we got 2,482. So we continue to climb, although that has dropped off considerably. Right now, down at Amicole Falls, we are up to bag tag number 1,148 as of this morning. And looking at the journal down there, it looks like that the pack weights we had were anywhere from 15 to 52 pounds. So not sure what folks are packing in the 15 and what they're in the 52 that's not in the 15. Would love to know. Leave a comment down in the comment section. Would like to know the difference between those two and what y'all think people are packing between those weights. And don't forget to take a picture of that logbook. If you hadn't got checked in yet and you hadn't started your hike, take a picture of that logbook. Love to see what's in that logbook, the pack weights people have, whether they're doing the approach trail, and just in general how things are going to folks down there as they get ready to get on their trip. Got a lot of hikers that are starting this coming week. You can find those on our hiker spreadsheet there, the Google Docs. I'll leave a spreadsheet down in the description section. Leave a link to that down there. All the folks in yellow are starting, so if you go to that link, you'll see we got a ton of folks that are starting this coming week. Got a lot of folks out there, and they're in the green, and then of course the folks in the red are off the trail. Those folks that are off the trail, we had Jenna Russell. She had to cancel due to pancreatic cancer. So all these folks that I have mentioned, and if I get specific, it's because they've already made that public knowledge out there. So Jenna Russell, she found out that she had pancreatic cancer. Bearded Servant, he actually made it to the trail, but last year he had to get off because of vertigo, and this year he's had the same thing, reoccurring vertigo. So hopefully he'll get that worked out. Chapstick canceled because she's going to be a ranger in Grand Canyon. I don't know what her major malfunction is, why she feels like that's a good enough excuse not to show up, but Chapstick, glad you got that opportunity, and the trail will be there when you're ready. Greyhound got off for a family illness, and Hammer, which part of that family, is also getting off at Newfound Gap. And then the only person left in that tramley is going to be Frosty. So hopefully Frosty will blend in or adopt another tramley. Jim Johnson, he got off due to an injury. Angie Sackett, she's gotten off, another one with a poor excuse. She got off because she got her golden ticket and won the lottery for the John Muir Trail. So congratulations to you, Angie. Don't blame you one bit. I'd be doing the same thing. Eagle had to cancel his trip due to a back injury before he got on the trail. Kentucky, he got on the trail and broke a tooth. So just so everybody knows, you do have to rehydrate meat, and you do have to rehydrate ramen noodles. And also, do not eat the little packet that comes in your Mountain House meal. So all those may have caused his injury. Don't know for sure. All kidding aside, we're sorry to hear that, Kentucky, that ended your trip. Hope you get that tooth worked out. Believe you me, I can understand teeth problems as much as you can. And then Elizabeth McDonough, she got off due to an injury. She has a torn meniscus. So all those folks, we're sorry you had to cancel, get back on. If you got off due to an injury, we hope to see you get back on the trail sometime this year, if not next year. We are tracking a ton of folks this year, so let me go ahead and get on to their updates. If you want to find out who we're tracking, then you can go to that down in the description section. You'll see the link down there, and I've got everybody's social media accounts that is given those to me of who we're tracking. And then the idea is that you can help me build the hiker community and build the Thru Hiker support community by going to their channels and subscribing or following them, and just giving them an attaboy or commenting them and keeping them spurred up all the way throughout their track. And then I'll be giving weekly updates. So the best way you can find those is go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell down there, and you'll know whenever I've got an update coming up. But let's go ahead, get on with that. Team Honey Badger, they should be in or around Erwin, Tennessee. Blaze and Bakers, they have crossed over into North Carolina. Noon has crossed over into North Carolina, and he is heading to Franklin. I'm going to give a special shout out to Phoenix and Pappy. Phoenix wrote me and he said, me and Pappy made it to Unicoi Gap. Today I'm staying with him, and we'll be doing this together. Both of us are good sport spirits, and they are moving on. Pappy is 89 years old, and he is working on setting the record for being the oldest to do an AT thru hike. And Phoenix came across him, and Pappy was Phoenix says he was in a hypothermic state, and he kind of helped him along and kind of probably saved his life if he helped him along on the end of his first day, and he just couldn't leave him like that. And they developed a friendship, and now Phoenix says that he is looking forward to doing his entire hike with Pappy. So I think that is wonderful that Phoenix is doing that. You know, the last one, the Katahdin wins. It's not the first one, it's the last one. So Pappy and Phoenix, more power to you. Looking forward to your continued trail updates. Subman and Suds there in Erwin taking a 0. Scott Hammock, he is somewhere in and around Erwin by the first of the week. James and his four-legged buddy Alaska, they have arrived at the Knot. John Macklett, he is coming in to Fontana. Happy's around Damascus. Joey Hikes is coming into Fontana in the next few days, and then be hitting the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Cletus State Farm and Tree Ears, they are on their way to Neal's Gap. Jason Hayes is on his way to the Knot. Frosty is at Gatlinburg and will be restarting at Newfound Gap by himself. Nutty Hiker, she was hurt, but she's getting back on, or correction, she had to go home for a family tragedy, but she is getting back on the trail the first of the week. AKA the girl should be in Franklin by the end of the week. Mischief, he's back on the trail after getting his charge cards and money and his license sent back, or they're sent a duplicate sent to him, and he'll be in Marion, Virginia by the first of next week. Screwball, Oso, Wonder Out There, and lots of others, they are in Hot Springs. Hopefully they don't get caught up in the Hot Springs vortex. Mittens is back on the trail after recouping from an injury. Just Sean is in Wind Gap, Pennsylvania on his go-go, and you'll recall the go-go is my word for the calendar year Triple Crown, so he'll be hiking all 3 trails this year. Dave Walters, he's out of the Smokies. New Hampshire hiker, she is in the Smokies. Jukebox is halfway done with the Smokies. Newt's on his go-go, and he has passed 1,000 miles. Smiley and Blister, they are hitting 800 miles tomorrow, and you can just tell that they are just loving the trail. Loofah's made it to North Carolina, should be coming into Franklin any day. Dirty Jobs, Punchline, The Butcher, and Ballpark are past Newfound Gap and heading north into the Smokies. New Wave, he is north of Pearisburg, Virginia, and 1010, Kneecaps, Phoenix, the female Phoenix, No Worries, and Runway are over Tray Mountain, and they are on their way to Dix Creek. So there's a lot of folks out there that we're tracking right now. All of y'all that sent me your updates through my Facebook page at Ramdino Roaming the Trails, or Instagram at Ramdino, or through my email at ramdinoroamingthetrails@gmail.com. I greatly appreciate that. All those links are down there in the description section, and that helps me out so much, not having to go hunt and find you. So if you're a thru hiker and I missed your update, please go to one of those sources down there, one of those links, and send me your updates on Friday or Saturday morning, and I'll be glad to include you in these updates. News from the trail, well, we got a lot of news going out there. Some of it is a very famous couple from last year who did a great job updating, but had to get off there early because of a tragedy, and they ran out of time, and that's Gina and Jay. So Gina and Jay, they're going to be back on the trail, and they should be starting pretty soon. Another thing this time last year is kind of when the norovirus starts. So I'll leave a card up here above me where I did a video last year on the norovirus. A lot of folks found that pretty informative, so I hope you'll go to check that out. We want to avoid that norovirus. Again, get your toilet paper and sanitizer wherever you can, because most of the places in town may be out. The virus has affected some international hikers. We had some folks that were flying in toward the end of the month, or were flying in to do their flip-flops or sobos, and that's not going to happen this year, because as most people may know by now, we have shut down all international flights coming into the United States. The Flip-Flop Festival at Harper's Ferry has been canceled, so the ATC, I think, kind of runs that. But on the other hand, Trail Days has not been canceled. Looked at the Trail Days website, and a lot of folks said, heck no, we can't cancel Trail Days, because them hikers are coming in whether we like it or not. So Trail Days, as far as I know, is still on. Is the ATC visitor center there at Harper's Ferry is closed, and so you won't be able to go by and get your Polaroids. You won't be able to get in at all. But what they've suggested that you do is that you take a selfie and you email it to them. So if you want to do that, by all means do that, and let them know who you are, when you started, where you started, like, you know, the information showed on all those Polaroids, and they'll put you up on their list of who's been through there, and hopefully they'll publish that list on their Facebook page eventually. The ATC does have a stance on the COVID-19 virus, which is also known as the coronavirus, and this is what was put out by Sandra Marr, the president and CEO of the ATC. She said in more cases of COVID-19 are diagnosed, the ATC is monitoring the situation closely to ensure we are taking the appropriate actions, not only for our staff, but also for the community of volunteers and hikers who actively use and work on the trail. While the risk of contracting COVID-19 is still considered to be low, we're taking this situation very seriously and are incorporating the guidelines provided by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and the World Health Organization into all we do to mitigate the spread of the COVID-19. Beginning today, the ATC Visitor Center in Harpers Ferry will be closed until at least March 20th. We ask that hikers take a selfie in front of the ATC sign and send them along with their name and starting date to info@appalachiantrail.org. We'll then add your photo into our official album of 2020 hikers. I think they also suggested that, like the CDC said, that you maintain 3 meters of separation even in shelters. So that means in shelters you need to be 9 feet away from other people that are staying in the shelters. So keep that in mind, particularly when you're in shelters like cable gap shelters and those shelters that are not double-decker shelters. So 9 feet away, and actually even the double-decker shelters, you got to stay 9 feet away. So that's probably going to limit the amount of people staying in the shelters if y'all adhere to that. One of the things that the ATC has not put out is any information about shuttles around the bridge out there in Harpers Ferry. The only people that have helped me out with that and given me information is the Canal Town Partnership. So if you're watching, or part of that, I want to greatly appreciate that and let folks know there. What they have indicated to me is that shuttles should begin operations in early April. CSX, which is the railroad there, will be paying for the shuttles. CSX and the National Park Service are working on repairing the bridge, and plans are moving forward. No definite date on when they start yet. I know there's not much public information out there yet, but there is good reason for optimism. So, appreciate that. Looks like shuttles are going to be happening. Wouldn't count on them until they happen. I do have a few links down in the description section for some shuttle suggestions and people that have come to me. If you're a trail angel in that area or somebody's offering shuttles, please get back to me and we'll include that also down in the description section. There are a lot of hostels that are starting to close, and I think we're going to start seeing more of those. This has brought these hostels that are closing this information. I got this from nuttyhiker.com, so I appreciate Nutty Hiker for building that website. And if you're a hostel owner out there, you can go and report to her, self-report to her website, and that will be a good source for other people to go out there and find out what hostels are closing. So right now we've got Nature's Inn in Flag Pond, Tennessee, and that's right there at Sam's Gap. They are closing. That's before you get to Irwin, Tennessee. Surrey Lodge in Troutdale, Virginia, they're closed. The Place Hostel, which is in Damascus, that's the church and a hostel, they're going to be closed for the next 2 weeks. The Notch Hostel in New Hampshire is going to be closed, and Maine Hostel of Maine is going to be closed. So those are the only ones as of this filming that have been closed. Let me know if you're a hiker or a hostel owner there, or you hear of others. We've got a lot of new hikers since the update, a few there, and then we've also got a lot of people starting. So go to that description there, down the description section. You can find that link to that whole list of over 250 folks that we are tracking. We've got Trail Angels there. We also started a new thing about Tramleys last week, and who all's hiking together. So we'd like to know if you got a Tramley, who's all in that Tramley. Please send that information to us. If you're a Trail Angel that's out there on the trail and you want to let us know when you're going to be doing and where you're going to be doing what on the trail, we'd like to publish that as well. Particularly those Trail Angels that are out there maybe offering shuttles for free or at a reduced price. Appreciate y'all watching this channel. Hope you got a lot out of it. Subscribe, give me a comment. Best way you can help me build this hiker community and help support the Thru Hikers is you can go ahead and share this channel and share this video with other folks. I appreciate y'all watching. As always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.